This week, we've got a full gauntlet of craft whiskey coming to Sealbox. Welcome, everyone. I'm Blake from Sealbox, joined by Brian as always. Brian, how's it going?
It's good. I'm not really too sure what a gauntlet of craft whiskey means, but I'm very curious to find out.
It means that just day after day after day, just laying down all sorts of craft whiskey hits. We've got craft distillers, we've got blenders, we've got independent bottlers, a full gauntlet of craft whiskey.
Oh, yeah, smell what the rock is cooking kind of situation, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what's coming this week, and there's just a lot.
The
So
Rock has his own whiskey coming out this week.
no.
Okay,
He should. Can we do a Tremana bourbon or what's his tequila called?
I don't know,
Yeah, that would.
Dwayne, if you're listening, give us a
Yeah, I was
ring.
gonna say, Dwayne, if you're one of the 500 people who tune into this video, definitely feel free to reach out. It's Blake at Seelbach, so we're always here. All right, well, let's jump into it. Like we said, it is a lot this week. We start off with something very cool. Everybody's familiar with Chattanooga Whiskey Company. If you're watching this, and they have their next experimental batch, which is a cola batch. And I'll let Brian dive into exactly what that means. On top of that, we have another single barrel from them, which is it's a wheated single barrel. We did one of these probably 4 or 5 months ago, and man, their wheated mash bill is so good. This single barrel turned out really well. And yeah, Brian, give us a few details on what all goes into the cola experimental batch.
The experimental batch is another one of their bourbon liqueurs. This is bourbon liqueur infused with cola nut, citrus peel, sarsaparilla, vanilla, and a variety of aromatic botanicals. So if you all know me, this is batch 45. If you know me, the limoncello, the citricello, the limecello, the batch alpha, these are all really fun, kind of fruity liqueur drinking experiences, and I'm a big fan of those flavors. When I got this one, I actually didn't know what to expect, but this is like the old pharmaceutical soda version of a bourbon liqueur. So think of it a little
Vanilla
bit
Coke before the
before the freestyle machine, though. Yeah, so like vanilla syrup going into a Coke mixed up, and you get the straw and you like taste it sweeter and different type of play. The experience, and I think that that's what you're going to get in this bottle. So it's this kind of mix of syrupy, soda-y, vanilla sweet, spicy kind of profile. It's very, very interesting. I think that if you are a cola drinker, also like me, that there'll be a lot of fun flavors there. If you like the old stirred up soda pops, going to be really interesting flavor profile as well. And if you just like the experimental things that Chattanooga puts out, you're going to enjoy it as well.
As somebody who used to go and buy the vanilla syrup you're supposed to put in coffee, and then I just mix it with Coke to make my own vanilla Coke, I'm excited for this one. I think that'll be
Absolutely.
good. And the wheated, you've tried the wheated yet, right?
Yeah, I was trying to go back and see what I said to you when I tried it, because I thought I remember messaging you and saying some sort of things like, do you like, I might have to, oh, here it is. Here it is.
Let's say we've
I
got
said,
two messages.
I said, this Chattanooga tastes like sweet ham, like Armagnac and sweet ham. And I think you said, okay, I mean, I just messaged him and said we bought it. Like I don't know what to do about
It's like
that.
Steve Coombs enters the chat. He's like, "Are we talking bourbon and sweet ham?" Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you like the
Anything
idea,
that is reminiscent of sweet ham and Armagnac, like I'm all in. That's all I
yeah,
needed to hear.
slightly perfumey kind of spices. So you're not thinking traditional baking spice rack. You're thinking a little bit more elegant. You're thinking again maybe along the lines of your cognacs, your Armagnacs, or something like that, mixed with like this big sweetness, kind of mid palate. Not overly sweet. It's just there, but it's slightly savory. It's yeah, you said Chattanooga Benton batch, which I think we should have gotten that worked up into a sticker. It's okay, we didn't. This is this is going to be a very fun weeded bourbon.
That'll be great. All right. Well, next up on the list, it's like, hey, if you like cool craft distilleries doing something different and, not younger, but I think that barrel's in the 5, 6 year range. Next up is completely different. We've got a 13-year rye from Hughes Brothers. So if you're unfamiliar with Hughes Brothers, they're out of Bedford County in Pennsylvania. Just a really cool brand. It's a remake or a revival of an old brand. And these are barrels that Cyrus over there has had for a long time. So he bought these as new make. He's been storing them at MGP, some in Pennsylvania. And they're hitting that 13-year mark, which is, we just... For a while, we didn't see anything in that range, and now that they're starting to pop up, it's like, oh, this is why I really love aged rye. And, I used to tell people back in the day, it's like, if you like aged rye, you just better have a deep pocketbook or a deep checkbook, whatever that would be, because there just wasn't stuff available out there. And these are still a little more expensive, but fairly well priced for a 13-year rye. MGP 95.5, and I picked this barrel, and this one it stood out. It's got a lot of those herbaceous, earthy notes. There is a nice bit of sweetness to it, but all in all, just a great rye whiskey.
Yeah, and I put this up yesterday. I was tasting it against the 12 years that we did last year. So whether you did or did not pick up one of the 12 years last year, I do think this one tastes a little bit more enjoyable from those, but they're also really different from one another. It's kind of hard to say. I think that what's neat about this compared even something like recently like our Nashville Barrel Company, what's neat about the differences in these two, right, is that both of them have been owners of these stock, I believe, unless this is a different run, for quite some time. And they've been aging in completely different environments. So you're going to run into completely different experiences. But once you get into these really older age ryes, I think it really unlocks a bunch of wild flavor profiles. If you are a rye drinker, if you like aged whiskeys and the direction that can go, then this 13 years is going to be pretty wild.
Right on. Doo-doom-ch.
Doo-doom-ch.
All right. And then we're only at Wednesday. I don't know how far we're into this video, but this is only to Wednesday. And give a little sneak peek. This is representative of about 400 hours of work. I don't even want to admit to all the work and effort that's gone into this. The Sealbox team has really gone above and beyond, but we have the first Sealbox Advent calendar. It's been something that's been suggested to us a lot over the years, and it's like, oh, cool, maybe we'll figure out a way to do it. Like, it's hard, you can't just get bottles, split them into samples, and do all this stuff. And then at the first of the year, we were talking with the people over at Liquid Ministry, and they're like, yeah, we could design a box, and we've got the glass. And it's like, all right, let's try to make that work. And it's a lot more work than expected, but the final
labor
result,
of love.
A labor of love, and truly is that. So 24 samples come in this box from, I believe it's 21 different producers. And, the number one request I think we get inbound is like, hey, I'd like to try this, but I'd like to try it in a small format. So it's a very fun way. So each box comes with, obviously, all the samples. It comes with a great Sealbox ornament. Also the guidebook just explaining everything that's in there, but, includes a lot of your favorites. There's Pursuit, there's 13th Colony, there's, I'm going to miss somebody, but we'll have all the names and products that are in there. Holiday is in there, Sealbox is in there, Manifest is in there. So just a little something for everyone. I think it's a great gift. So we'll be doing that pre-sale on Wednesday. Those should start shipping around the 1st of November, but just getting ahead of the holiday season a little bit. And I feel like this is our first ode to the holidays coming up. So fun to get that started. And you took some shots of the box, and I never felt more in the Christmas spirit than when I see this box with an ornament around, is it mistletoe or is that just Christmas tree?
It's just like, different. It's just different, like Christmas tree garlandy branches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we don't need to get into the different types of pine, cypress, and all. But Save that for another
Save
week.
that for another podcast. We'll bring a Forester on for the next week's.
Exactly.
But no, if you're a fan of craft whiskey, fan of just whiskey in general, I think this is a great option just to try a bunch of different stuff from a bunch of different producers. So excited to see that one come around. So next up, on to Thursday now. So this is one I'm almost embarrassed to admit how long I had these samples. Driftless Glen is a distillery that we have worked with for a long time. I mean, probably 5-6 years at least. And it was just one we hadn't done a lot with. And so I'd reached out about some samples. Somehow, if I showed my office, it would be much more believable. But somehow the box was lost in my office. I don't know what I thought it was, but didn't realize it was the Driftless samples. And then I opened it up probably 2 months later and started tasting these samples. I'm like, hey, any chance that these are still available? And she was like, yeah, this one is. I'm like, perfect. That's the selection. So almost an 8-year bourbon. If you're unfamiliar with Driftless Glen, distillery out of Wisconsin, they're, we call them craft, but they're producing a good amount of whiskey and laying a lot of barrels down. And so this one, it's a 60-20-20 mash bill. And man, just great bourbon. It does give you some unique characteristics of the, just what you want, something a little bit different from a craft whiskey. But at almost 8 years old, you get all the vanillas and caramels, kind of some of those truer, more traditional notes. And, I'm excited to have them back. I do apologize to them for how long it took me, but I think Sealbox customers will be very excited that this barrel is going to be available.
Yeah, we were actually talking about making a trip out that way, and you know what? Maybe that's part of the reason, why we forgot that the box was there to taste through, right? Because we were supposed to be on site,
just gonna be there live.
Jay Henry and Dancing Goat, but yeah, I mean, years ago I had gone to Driftless with my friend Drew. I mean, the reason I'm kind of in this space and on YouTube and into whiskey and stuff like that too. We did some Driftless picks. We moved them, with Sealbox, and the bourbons have always been something that I've been like, this bourbon's just so solid for the price, and because the proof is like 120, right? So good proof with a good age statement, with a good flavor and a good price. I mean, that's what I thought a lot of drinkers wanted. So now this is almost 8 years old. When I was trying this yesterday, it had a lot of things that reminded me of the Starlight Bald and Bond. Now, I mean, it's kicking up in its proof, but if you didn't get that release, or you thought about it, or you liked it, or you just like the thought of these, what I call kind of clean craft aged products, then you're going to get that in this Driftless Glen. It's a really nice, sweet tasting bourbon. Big fan. Yeah.
And that's, I guess we should say it's $60, and it's like an 8-year-old, essentially 8-year-old bourbon for $60 at cask strength is what you expect from the big guys, not some of these smaller craft producers. So really fun one to see, and I'm sure it won't last long, but hoping to be doing more from them. And then finally, to round out the week, we've got a very cool release from, one of Sealbox favorites, one of a lot of Sealbox fans and customers' favorites, Short Barrel. So this is the Short Barrel Deldado finished. It's a 2-pack. So they took bourbon, I believe is around 7 years old, and rye is around 7 years old, and finished it in Cabernet barrels from the Deldado winery. And one that if the other Short Barrel releases give us any insight to what's going to happen, they will probably go fast. But I do like the idea of putting 2 bottles together where it's different whiskey, same finish, same time, and you can try them side by side. So really fun way to do a release, and I think it's going to be a really good one. So I'm excited to try those and get those in.
Absolutely, yeah. Like you said, I mean, Short Barrel always does well on the site. This is a finish we haven't seen them do yet before, so I expect it's going to be well received.
And yeah, that's how we'll close out the week. So thanks everybody for watching. Let us know what products you're most excited about this week. And Brian, you want to close us out?
Yeah, I'm really appreciative that you taught me what a whiskey gauntlet was today. And viewers, thanks for staying through this video, and excited to have another week of releases out for you guys.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.